Okay. So we just have some questions for you, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what was the purpose of turning on your red and blue lights in Henderson County?
When we came over the bridge, we were just leaving my girlfriend's house.
Huh?
Are you serious? That is the exact moment this man realized his entire lie had collapsed. Right there on body cam, hands going behind his back, voice cracking like he couldn't believe what was actually happening to him. But here's the thing. This didn't start with an arrest. It started with a man who thought he could put red and blue lights on a rental car, flash them at people on a bridge going over 50 miles an hour, and walk away clean. And for a little while, he almost did. Stick with me all the way through this, because the deeper you go into this footage, the more layers you're going to peel back. And every single layer is worse than the one before it.
One thing stand yet,
Hey, I've been behind that guy since Chandler. Back wipe your back window, red blue. Black, now you have to stop moving back.
Okay.
Yeah. Doing 100.
If you want to hang out right there for me, that'd be great.
You right over here?
If you want to. Not at this time. Morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm Officer Stewart with the Tyler Police Department. The reason for the call today is your
Right.
speed, sir.
Sir?
Is your speed. That's the reason why you've been stopped today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have your license, proof, insurance?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
He been following me since Chandler. He tried to run us off the bridge or whatever. I do volunteer fire department and stuff, and I hit my lights on it because he ran up on us or whatever. We got a search and rescue dog in here on that bridge coming over, on that last bridge.
I got you.
And I was like, why is he still following us?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Do you mind if I open the doors? That looks good, by the way. Just scan the barcode inside your door. Oh, come on.
That's all it was. I've been trying to figure out why he was following us or whatever. He's been running up on us. And then right here at past McCardo's, right here past McCardo's,
1
we
second.
tried to get over and
55. Is that traffic for me? Now you don't need to re-advise. I was listening to the driver. Hmm. 10-4, okay, if you want to roll me a 31, that'd be great. Hey, what kind of Nissan is this, by the way?
Century? Century?
Sentra? Okay. Hey, I noticed you got some lights back here. What are those lights for?
Volunteer fire department.
Volunteer fire department?
Palestine East.
With Palestine? Okay. Why do you have Michigan plates then, if you don't mind me asking?
Just a rental.
It's a rental car?
Yeah. The Enterprise.
So, can you flash them for me real quick?
Plug them up.
Come again?
Gotta plug them up.
Plug them up. Okay. Hey, what's a good phone number for you? So you're a volunteer firefighter?
Yes, sir.
With what agency?
Lake Palestine East.
Lake Palestine Agency. Who's your chief?
Gary Cannon.
Gary who?
Cannon.
Gary Cannon. Interesting. Okay. All right, just hang tight with me a little bit, okay? Do you have proof that you're a volunteer firefighter? You don't mind me asking?
Not on me.
Not on you?
Yes, sir.
No? Okay. Will you shine these lights for me real quick and everything? You got them all plugged in? Yeah, just.
This is one of those cases where the longer it goes on, the more your jaw just keeps dropping. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. Because if this is your first video, you need to understand what kind of channel this is. We don't just play footage. We break it down. We catch every detail. We show you what the average viewer misses. Subscribe now and make sure you don't miss a single one. Now let's go back to the beginning, because you need the full picture to understand just how bold this man was. It starts on a stretch of Texas highway near Lake Palestine. A driver in a white truck is crossing a bridge when the car in front of him, a rental car, Michigan plates, suddenly drops down to about 30 miles per hour in a 55 zone on a bridge. And then it happens. Red and blue lights start flashing from the back window of that rental car. Bright, unmistakable. The kind of lights you only see on one type of vehicle. The driver in the truck behind him doesn't know what to think. Is this an unmarked unit? An undercover cop? He calls Henderson County Dispatch right then and there from his phone while still driving and asks if they have any undercover officers in the area. They tell him no. So now this man is following the rental car. Not because he's aggressive, not because he's looking for trouble, but because something is deeply wrong and he knows it. And then things escalate. Fast. The rental car starts weaving. It almost clips a car near a church. It runs up close behind other vehicles. And then, out of nowhere, it guns it. The trucker driver says it had to be going at least 120 miles per hour on a public highway, with other cars around. 120, just gone. Pay attention to that detail, because it matters later.
Turn that way. I just want to see what's doing. Sorry, not sorry.
When we left from Flat Creek Marina,
Mm-hmm.
we would cross that first bridge. He pulled off of right there where the fireworks station is in the corner.
Okay.
Me and a couple other vehicles that were in front of us, we were going the speed limit.
Okay.
He's been trying to pass us. And those on the second bridge where the gas station is on the corner,
Who was trying to pass you?
this guy in a white truck.
Okay.
He was trying to pass me and two other cars in front of me.
55, go ahead.
Yeah, the gas station on that second bridge right there. I guess I don't know if it's Smith County yet, but where the old bridges used to be in the water. Right. And they got that gas station. Well, we were right there. 18 we were coming back towards like the chicken farm, like whatever that is out that way. He tried to come up again, and he was already beside
Yes,
us.
sir, it is.
Thing like and he was like, "What are you doing?" Well, then he swerved back over or whatever, pushed us off. I had to pull off or whatever. Went to third, left to third, so we pulled off in the little area right there where the boat dock is. Yeah. Well, we pulled off where the boat dock was. We could fish right there. So we asked him what the farm was, and he was like, nothing. We get back up on the road, we'll go back off the bridge, and he said he's going to try to put us off the road. And she was
St. Paul County's talking to him right now, trying to stop walking into something.
So explain to me, this is a rental car, correct?
Yes, sir.
So why do you have this? Why is this one?
We put that on there.
Why did y'all put that on?
My dad did.
Your dad did?
Yeah.
Why did we put that on there?
He supports his brother's ticket first or whatever.
Okay.
I had this car for it. I only had this car for a couple of months, that's all it was.
So why did you put the red and blue drop bar strip in there?
The red football thing in case I get paid now.
Okay. Where do you work at?
Lake Palestine Volunteer Fire Department.
Okay. Who's your supervisor at?
Gary's.
Hey,
Can you call him on the phone?
Yeah.
what volunteer agency were you with again?
Lake Palestine East Volunteer Fire Department.
Lake Palestine East.
Outside 30 foot.
Do you have a phone number? Do you have Gary's phone number?
Do they have anything like that?
Who's that lady in your car?
My girlfriend.
How long have you been?
About a month. Right before Thanksgiving.
Okay. I'm not going to talk to her. Well, he's trying to get a supervisor so we can verify that he works for the volunteer fire department.
Okay, that's what dispatch is checking it right now. and Everything. Hey, you tell him what 111 told me.
I didn't listen when I left that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm ready for Texas.
No, it's not. Oh, no, it's not that at all. No, man. We just red and blues are kind of the reason for what you're seeing.
I thought maybe I shouldn't have did it or whatever, but hell, I just did it like a warning, like, dang, get off, because he tried to run us off the road.
Right. That's the reason you're seeing the response that you're seeing. Okay, because red and blues really cause us to perk up a little bit of like, why is...
I wasn't trying to pull nobody over. I wasn't trying to do nothing.
Oh, I understand. You don't have any certifications on you or anything to verify that you're with that agency?
No, sir.
You don't? Okay.
I work out of state a lot or whatever. I just got back in town. My car...
What state do you work out of?
I work all over the United States.
All over the United States? Okay. Do you have certifications in other states?
Right.
What other states do you have it in?
No, I do. I don't volunteer anywhere. I merchandise. Home Depot.
Okay, but when you're with the volunteer aspect of it and everything like that, are you certified in the state of Texas to do anything like that?
For volunteer fire department?
Yes, sir. EMT certified, and kind of fire certification,
No,
penal
I'm
code
a-
certification.
I work EMS, VST.
VST.
At headquarters,
Where's headquarters at?
over on Glenwood.
Over on Glenwood.
Beside the Cotton Belt.
Were you able to get home with somebody? Is it on your car audio? I see it on your
Yeah, that's what I say. Hello?
He doesn't have any sort of,
identification.
well, not identification, but just verification that he works for a volunteer.
Can you
He
hear me?
doesn't have it at this time, at least. He works out of headquarters off Glenwood.
Gary, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, can you,
Yeah, absolutely.
can you verify, this is Jason Fierce, can you verify with Officer Stewart or Tyler PD that I volunteer at Lake Palestine, well, that I'm on Lake Palestine Volunteer Fire Department? I just got pulled over or whatever because of my light bar. Someone tried to run me off the road, so my dumb ass hit my light bar or whatever, tried to keep them off my ass. Yes, sir.
The rental car eventually gets caught at a red light. The truck driver keeps following. At one point, a biker gets involved. There's some kind of confrontation near the loop, and by this point, Henderson County and Tyler PD are both coordinating, trying to locate this vehicle, and then Officer Stewart spots it, pulls it over. 66 in a 50, that's the reason he gives for the stop. But here's what Officer Stewart doesn't know yet. The man he just pulled over is about to spin a story so layered, so specific, that it almost sounds real. Almost. The man in the rental car, let's call him Jason, because that's the name that comes up, immediately starts talking the moment the window goes down. He's got a story ready. He says he's a volunteer firefighter. He says the guy in the white truck had been following him. He says he felt threatened. He says he activated his lights because someone was running up on him, and he just wanted to get people off his tail. He's calm. He's conversational. He's got an answer for everything. But Officer Stewart has been doing this long enough to know that when somebody has an answer for everything before you even ask the question, that's not a good sign. That's rehearsal. The officer asks him to flash the lights. Just light them up. Show me what they do. The man does it. Red and blue. Bright. Flashing. Exactly the kind of lights you would see on an emergency vehicle. On the back window of a rental car. A rental car that also has a sheriff's badge sticker on it. In Texas. With Michigan plates, something feels off here, and Officer Stewart knows it. He steps away. He gets on the radio. He starts making calls. He pulls in Henderson County. He gets his supervisor on the way. He's methodical, calm, building the case piece by piece, while this man sits in his car believing he's about to be let go. Now, I want you to think about something for a second, because this is where this case gets psychologically interesting. Why does someone put red and blue lights on a rental car? A rental. A car that isn't theirs. A car they're going to give back. Why put an illegal light strip in the back window of a car you're going to return in a few days? Why add a sheriff's badge sticker to a rental? Why go through all of that effort? There are really only two answers. Either this is something they do everywhere they go, so habitually that they don't even think about it anymore, or this specific trip had a specific purpose. And neither answer is a good one. Drop your theory in the comments right now. What do you think was really going on? Because this case has layers that we're going to get to, and once I tell you what dispatch found out about this man's background, you're going to look at everything that happened on that bridge very differently. But we're not there yet. We've got to earn it. Back at the scene, Officer Stewart asks the man a simple question. Volunteer firefighter, with what agency? Lake Palestine. Lake Palestine East Volunteer Fire Department. Who's your chief? Gary Cannon. Clean answer. Specific. Confident. Almost too confident. Do you have proof you're a volunteer firefighter? No, not on me. Okay. Any certifications? Anything that proves you're associated with this agency? No. He works out of state a lot. He just got back to town. His car has his stuff in it somewhere. He'll find it. This is the technique. This is what liars do when they've rehearsed. They give you just enough to sound credible, and then they drop a reason, a convenient reason, for why the one thing that would prove their story isn't available right now. Out of state, just got back, left it at home. It's in the other car. Always something. Officer Stewart doesn't push hard. He doesn't need to. he lets the man talk. Because every word out of this man's mouth is going in one direction, and that direction is a crime. Something just shifted in this investigation. And the man in the rental car hasn't felt it yet. While dispatch is running checks, the man does something interesting. He pulls out his phone. He says he's going to call his lieutenant. He says the lieutenant will verify everything. He dials. He puts it on speaker. This is where it gets almost uncomfortable to watch, because you can see him believing this call is going to save him. He gets someone on the phone. He starts talking. He asks the person on the phone to verify to Officer Stewart that he's a volunteer firefighter with Lake Palestine East. The person on the phone sounds confused. The call starts breaking up. Keywords are missing. Nothing is actually confirmed. Officer Stewart asks for the lieutenant's name, Gregory. They call him Gage Lemons. He asks who the chief is again, Gary Cannon. Same names. Consistent, but consistency isn't the same as truth, and dispatch is about to prove that. The officer steps away again. More radio traffic, more coordination. He's checking Anderson County. He's checking Cherokee County. He's checking Palestine, Frankston, every surrounding agency connected to Lake Palestine East. And then the answer comes back. He is not with Anderson, Palestine, or Frankston in any official capacity. Not done. They contact Jennifer out of Cherokee County. He has tried to work for Lake Palestine and Cherokee multiple times, but he has never worked for them. Not once, in any capacity. Not a volunteer. Not even close. And now everything that came before this moment looks completely different. The confident answers. The chief's name. The lieutenant's name. The story about the bridge. The dog in the back seat. The girlfriend's house. The search and rescue reference. All of it, every single word, was a performance. And it almost worked. But here's what gets me. He knew the chief's name. He knew a lieutenant's name. He had tried to join these agencies before. That means he spent real time around these organizations. He learned the names. He learned the structure. He prepared for exactly this moment, the moment someone would call him on it. That's not impulsive. That's calculated. And that calculation is what makes this case so deeply unsettling. If you haven't subscribed yet, here's your moment. Because I want to ask you something honestly. Do you think this was a one-time thing? Do you think this was the first time he activated those lights? Because what I'm about to tell you about this man's history is going to make you very glad those officers pulled him over that day. Very glad the truck driver followed him. Very glad someone made that call to dispatch. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, because this is exactly the kind of case we cover here, and there are more coming. Okay, now I have to tell you something that changes the entire frame of this story. While the officers are talking, while they're coordinating, while they're checking agencies, while this man is sitting in his rental car, one of them says something quietly, almost casually, like it's just another data point. He's a registered sex offender. Let that land. This man, with red and blue flashing lights on his rental car, a sheriff's badge sticker on the back window, a story about being a volunteer firefighter, a dog in the car, and a narrative about a girlfriend's house near Lake Palestine, is a registered sex offender. And according to the officers on scene, he had been using those lights to make someone pull over, to get them to the side of the road, to stop them. Now go back to the beginning. Go back to the bridge. The 30-mile-per-hour crawl on a 55 zone, the lights flashing. The hand out the window, motioning for the truck driver to pull over. The aggressive following. The cutting off. The weaving. What do you think the actual intention was? Because the officers are clearly thinking it. You can hear it in the way they talk to each other. Short sentences. Lowered voices. The kind of communication that happens when professionals are connecting dots and they don't like where the picture is going. He used emergency lights on a public road to direct traffic, to control a stranger, to create a situation where someone would pull over because they thought it was law enforcement telling them to. That is not a man who made a bad decision with some lights his dad put on as a joke. That is a man with a method, and this road was part of it. Do me a favor and drop a comment right now. Just tell me, where are you watching this from, and what is your gut feeling about what was actually happening on that bridge? I read every single comment, and on a case like this, I want to know what you're thinking. Now, back to the footage, because we're not at the arrest yet, and what happens between now and the cuffs going on is worth every second. The officers are now openly discussing the charges. You can hear them working through the Texas Penal Code in real time. They're talking about Section 37/11, impersonating a public servant. They're talking about using the vehicle to control traffic, to direct people, to exercise authority he absolutely did not have. And there's a detail here that the lead officer makes very clear to his partner. It doesn't matter why he says he turned the lights on. It doesn't matter if the truck driver was actually following him. It doesn't matter if he was scared. The moment he activated red and blue emergency lights on a public road, the moment he represented himself as a firefighter with credentials he didn't have, the crime was committed. The intent is backed up by the action, and the action is on body cam. This is the part of these cases that I find so compelling, because people think they can explain their way out of anything. They think if they have a reason that sounds good enough, the law will bend around it. But that's not how this works. You don't get to define what your emergency lights mean to other drivers. You don't get to use the authority of a badge and then say you weren't trying to use authority. Other people on that road saw flashing red and blue lights. Other people responded to them the way any reasonable person would. That response, that fear, that compliance, that's the harm, and you caused it. He's sitting in the car now, and he's starting to sense that the conversation is shifting. He asks his mom a question through the window. Something about the rental car. Can she come pick it up if they take him in? And then he asks it flat out. Am I going to jail? The officer is honest with him. We're still figuring that out. But you can tell by the way the scene has changed that the answer is yes. It's been yes for a while. They just needed to get all the pieces in the right place first. And then he tries one more thing. One last card. He says the truck driver pulled a gun on him. He says the man in the white truck had a pistol, pulled up beside him, showed it to him on the bridge. That's why he was scared. That's why he turned the lights on. He was defending himself. He was trying to get away from an armed man. Think about that. Think about the timing of that claim. Not when he first spoke to the officer. Not when he was asked about the lights. Not when he was asked about the agency. After everything fell apart. After dispatch confirmed he'd never been a firefighter anywhere. After the sex offender registration came up. After the arrest is basically inevitable. That's when the gun appears. The officer does what a good officer does. He asks calm, specific questions. Did you see a gun? Did he point it at you? Did he say anything? Did he threaten you? Did you tell me this earlier? He didn't. He didn't say it earlier because it wasn't real earlier, and the officer knows it. That reaction is not normal. And it's caught on camera, all right? Turn around, hands behind your back. At this time, you are being placed under arrest for impersonating a public servant. Are you serious? That's the line. That's the moment. The same man who had an answer for everything, who had the chief's name ready, who had the lieutenant's name ready, who had the fire department name ready. That man, in that moment, sounds genuinely shocked. Because somewhere in his mind, the story had been real enough that he almost believed it himself. But the body cam doesn't care about the story. The body cam caught the lights flashing red and blue. The body cam caught him claiming credentials he never had. The body cam caught dispatch, confirming he had tried and failed to join these agencies multiple times. The body cam caught all of it. And here's the part that matters beyond just this one man, beyond just this one traffic stop. The truck driver. The guy in the white truck who made the call to dispatch, who followed this car, who gave a statement, who filled out every form the officer asked him to. He almost didn't do any of that. He said so himself. He wasn't sure if it was a real cop. He wasn't sure if he'd be believed. He almost just let it go and drove home. He didn't. And because he didn't, this man with flashing emergency lights and a fraudulent identity and a history that makes the hair on your arms stand up, he got stopped. By one civilian who trusted his instincts and made a phone call. That matters. That is the thing I want you to carry out of this video. You know what also matters? That you're still here. You made it this far, which tells me something about you. You don't just want the surface version. You want to understand what actually happened and why. That's the kind of viewer that makes a channel worth building. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'm going to ask you directly, do it now, not for the algorithm. Because I genuinely put hours into breaking these cases down properly, and I want you to be here for the next one. Now, the aftermath. Because this case didn't end at the traffic stop. The charges that came out of this encounter included impersonating a public servant. which in Texas is a serious felony level offense when you use that impersonation to direct traffic, to create compliance, to exercise authority over other people. Combined with his prior record, combined with the nature of what he was allegedly doing on that bridge, this man was looking at serious time. And he got it. 10 years. 10 years in prison. That sentence is not about the lights. It's not about the sticker on the window. It's not about a fake firefighter badge or a sheriff's logo on the back of a rental car. It's about a pattern. It's about what he was doing with that pattern. It's about what might have happened on that bridge if the truck driver had pulled over. If someone else had pulled over. If those lights had worked the way he needed them to. We will never know the full answer to that question. But the people who investigated this case clearly believed the answer was dangerous enough to warrant a decade in prison. Do you think 10 years was the right call? That's a genuine question. I want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments. This kind of sentence is controversial to some people. They say it's too harsh, it's just some lights. Nobody got hurt. Others say given his history and what he was clearly attempting, 10 years is barely enough. Where do you stand? And for those of you who didn't know, this is the kind of case where the body cam footage is genuinely what saved the prosecution. Without that footage, without that officer asking him to flash the lights on camera, without that whole scene being documented from the moment of the stop, this would have been his word against the truck drivers. And his story, as hollow as it was specific enough to create doubt. The body cam closed that door. The body cam made it airtight. That's the thing about this footage that doesn't get said enough. It's not just accountability for officers, it's accountability for everyone in the frame. It's documentation of who said what, when, in what order, under what circumstances. And in this case, every minute of it pointed in one direction. He said he was a firefighter. He wasn't. He said his dad put the lights on as a joke. He'd been using them for months across multiple counties. He said the truck driver pulled a gun. He only mentioned it after everything else collapsed. He said the lights were just to warn people. He had a sex offender registration and a history of trying to infiltrate fire departments across the region. Every layer. Every single layer. Worse than the one before it. Now here's where I'll leave you, because this is not a story that ends neatly. It ends with a man in handcuffs, a dog in the back seat of a rental car, a mother asking if she can come pick it up, and a truck driver filling out a sworn statement on the side of a Texas highway. But there are questions that the footage doesn't answer. Why Lake Palestine specifically? Why that stretch of bridge? Why a rental car? Why go through all the effort of learning the fire department structure, the chief's name, the lieutenant's name, if you were just going to use a light bar as a joke? Those questions exist. And in cases like this one, when the answers do come out, they are never, ever what you expect. There's another case I've been sitting on that connects to exactly this type of pattern. A man using emergency equipment to create stops, to create control, to create situations that no legitimate officer would ever create. Different state, different method, but the same psychology underneath. And that one is even darker than this. If you want to see it, you know what to do. Subscribe, hit the bell. Be here when it drops. Because the moment you close this video, the algorithm is going to forget you were ever here. The subscribe button is the only thing that fixes that. You've been locked in for the full breakdown. That means something. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp. Trust your instincts. And if something on the road ever feels wrong, make the call. It might matter more than you know.